Okay, y'all, so we got another slam dunk for U.S. District Judge James Boasberg, because he was like, look, your mom might be boo-boo the food, but I'm not. I done gave y'all specific questions to answer, and you have not done so. He was like, so if you want to play with me, there can be consequences. And see, and that's what they need to understand something. Like I tell y'all, I know this is getting scary and stuff because there's just so much stuff happening, and you're just like, oh my God, how are we going to fix it? Yes, litigation does fix it, but we got to complain first so we can get to the litigation part, and that's what has happened. There's been many complaints about people who are not supposed to be on them goddamn planes that are. And that was his question. He was like, because you all have been woefully insufficient in answering the questions. He was like, I specifically asked your ass what time them planes took off. He said, because the ruling that happened, the emergency ruling that happened on that Saturday, he knew that when his ruling had ended, those planes were not supposed to have taken off. But they tried to say that, oh, the planes were already taken off. They was already in air, dropping them people off and whatnot. And he was like, we'll bring them back. Then it was like, oh, we had already dropped them off. So now he's like, what time did the planes get in the air? What time did the planes land in that other place? Like, and so of course, now they're evading his questions and whatnot and acting like they don't have to answer them. And he's just like, oh, no. This is how this works. Again, you're not a king. You cannot just go around just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. And the fact that, you gave all this money, or trying to give all this money to the little Homeland Security man, what are y'all doing? How are y'all out here doing a job y'all don't even know how to do? Never mind. Meritocracy, right? Sorry, mediocrity. Anyways, they are trying to utilize something called the State Secret Act. So they're trying not to answer the questions that he's asking, because, of course, then that means they would have to show that they have absolutely defied direct orders, but they want everybody else to, obey and honor and trust and do all the things for them, right? Again, like a king, instead of just understanding that there's due process and folks are going to absolutely exercise that. So now, at this point, Don, because America's not a real place, he done got online and started tweeting and shit, talking about calling for this man's impeachment, saying that, he's doing everything in his power to usurp the power of the presidency. But here's the thing, your power is titular, bud. There's no power. There's no power here. You absolutely have checks and balances. That's just how the three branches of government work. That's just how, your power works and whatnot. Think of yourself as more like stationary with your name on top. That's pretty much what this is. Now, the fact of the matter is, like I said, we got people on them planes that had no business being on those planes. So a lot of this shit right here is just ridiculous performative mess that they're trying to scare people into thinking that, of course, they got rid of all these Venezuelan gang members. And the majority of the people were not. So right now, of course, they're going back and forth and whether or not this is going to be like a sealed situation. He was like, you know what, if that's what it has to be, he was like, but I need these questions answered by somebody who had direct to make the decisions that were made. Because basically he's like, look, somebody defied, direct orders. Who was it? Who was out here just saying, well, I'm gonna just do what I want to do and apologize for that shit later? It does not work like that when you basically trafficking people, because that's what happened. Like, you didn't send the people over there and they not supposed to be over there. Because again, we have rules, we have laws, we have due process. Those things have to be, exercised before we can do the things that we are doing.